What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Sergeant Moose here, back with another The Texas Chain Saw Massacre video. Today is September 20th, guys. The 4th edition of the Muerto Times has been released. Let's jump in, let's dissect this thing, and see what's coming in the next patch. Alright guys, so in yesterday's patch, we had the Sissy issue was addressed, where she was getting consistent poison stacks on her attacks. There are still some issues with her, but they got the bulk of it worked out for now, so hopefully we see another fix on her soon. We also had some fixes to bone scrap perks, as well as some things were rearranged on the slaughterhouse map to make it a little bit more difficult for victims to attack the fuse box and pressure valve. But today, we have a new set of the Muerto Times, the 4th edition, also addressing fixes coming in the very next patch, which I'm sure, by the way, they've been releasing patches lately. We'll probably be seeing another patch in the next week or two. But without further ado, let's jump in. Let's see what they're addressing here in the 4th edition of the Muerto Times. Alright guys, so first things first, we're going to talk about fixes in testing. This is usually what we're going to see in the next patch at the very least. This has been kind of the trend with the Muerto Times and the patches of late, so this is what I'm expecting to see changed in the next patch. So the first thing is stun immunity period for family. So there's been a lot of issues, especially with Leatherface in the basement getting stun locked by doors. Actually all the family members just getting stun locked by doors, and they're addressing the immunity period for family. So essentially what this is going to mean, what I'm thinking it's going to mean anyway, is after you have been stunned by a victim, whether it be a bone scrap, Leland's shoulder tackle, or a door, it appears that they're trying to work on a way for you to be immune to getting stunned again. And of course this coincides with you being, say, Leatherface in the basement, getting stuck in the middle of a door jam to where you cannot move, and they just can repeatedly slam the door on you over and over. So it appears that after this next patch, hopefully, you will have some kind of immunity to where you can actually get out of the way and not be stunned over and over. So this is amazing. This is a great fix that has been kind of plaguing the game since the start, or at least since people have been figuring it out. So I'm glad they're working on it. Next thing, also huge, massive, guys, and I'm very glad. I expected this to be in the Muerto Times today, and I'm glad that they're going to try to push it out of the next patch. This is the hitchhiker trap. So as most of you know, they've been talking about it with the community. Some locations where you can set a trap as the hitchhiker, especially on the tops of ladders, will permanently affect the victim for the rest of the game. And what I mean by that is whenever you step in the trap coming up a ladder and you break yourself free or get out of the trap, you have trouble going through wall gaps or crawl spaces most of the time, and sometimes it can affect you for the rest of the game. And obviously, it's going to put you at a huge disadvantage because you're probably going to die if you get caught in a chase. So hitchhiker traps are being addressed on the next patch. My assumption is maybe they'll make it to where you can't set a trap as close to the ladder, so that way a victim actually has a chance to come up the ladder and not get stuck in the trap. And maybe this will also address the bug, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Next, we have the agitator perk values, guys. Again, we have some fixes coming to victims again. You can call them nerfs if you want, but this one is pretty huge for me because as family, it does take a while to collect blood. Even if you have, you're running all the blood perks, you can hold a lot of blood, you can gather a lot of blood, things like that. It does still take a while, especially when victims are rushing the basement as soon as the game starts, and you're on the chase with the victim. You obviously can't be going around collecting blood. So, agitator is essentially a perk, especially when maxed out, that when you stab Grandpa, you can just erase every level that he has, even if he's level 3 or 4, pretty much. And this can take a ton of work that was put in by the family to level him up away instantly. Now, it does not say they're nerfing this, it does not say they're buffing it, it just says agitator perk values. So, my assumption is they'll probably be nerfing it. Don't hold me to that, but that's just what I'm thinking, because agitator is a pretty ridiculous perk in its current state, in my opinion. But those are the fixes in testing, guys, and these are what I'm expecting to see in the next patch. And of course, usually whenever we see fixes in testing on the Muerto Times, there's usually more as well that's going to be coming in the upcoming patch. So, next we're going to talk about under investigation. Now, this is not stuff that, that's set in stone to be in the next patch, but it's something that they're looking at and they're going to work on. First thing is, guys, perk balancing. Now, you can take this however you want. That's the only thing it says. It's the only thing it states is perk balancing. I have no idea what this means, what perks it could possibly pertain to. There may be a whole plethora of perks that they're going to be taking a look at, fine-tuning, buffing, nerfing, and I actually did see Matt from Gun on Twitter saying that they are looking at perks, and they're not looking at just nerfing things. There are also some areas that need buffed as well, so this could go for family or victim side. Honestly, don't have any idea, but if you guys have any suggestions or perks that you've seen that seem a little too much or not enough, let me know in the comments. Maybe they'll be taking a look at those too. But yeah, there's going to be some perk balancing, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see exactly what perks they're talking about, but I'm assuming it's going to be quite a few that they're going to be fine-tuning. Next, for under investigation, we have gas station map improvements. Now, I personally, playing on family side and putting a ton of hours into this game, I don't see too many issues with gas station, but if I were to guess, and after reading some of the threads on Twitter from some of the folks talking, I'm assuming this means probably the smoke room on the gas station itself. For instance, guys, obviously you know whenever you go out the generator side, you can simply pick one lock in the gas station and you're free. You can go right out the door and you're good to go on the generator side. Now, will they be removing this? Will they be changing this to make it a little more difficult in some fashion? I'm not exactly sure, but I did see on a fellow YouTuber's channel, Slash and Cast, I know most of you know him, he did mention that, could it be a possibility they could put, the power grid for the generator in front of the gas station door as well, so you would absolutely have to kick off the generator to go out either side. That's just a suggestion, but I will say that is probably, the gas station exit is probably 85-90% of the escapes on the gas station. It pretty much makes the generator obsolete, because if you go in that direction through that door, unless there's, a trap there or, a tough cook lock there or something, you're not going to be really needing to kick off the generator. You just simply go out the gas station door. So it kind of makes the generator obsolete at this point and makes it a little bit easier to escape out the gas station. So I'm glad they're taking a look at that. We'll see how things go in that department. Again, under investigation, guys, is stealth balancing. This is something we've seen in previous Muerto Times as well. And it does appear that they tried to kind of up it a little bit on this previous patch with making it harder to escape the restraints and things like that. I really don't see a huge difference, to be honest, as victim escaping the restraints. People are still spamming it and getting out almost instantly anyway. But it appears they're going to be doing some more stealth balancing. And I think this is all in an effort to essentially give the family more time to set up and not have the victims escape the basement in the first, 30 seconds of the game. So, gonna be good here seeing some stealth balancing. We'll see how that goes moving forward. Now, as we see, we have needs more info. Now, they're talking about minigame issues here, concerning lockpicking, etc. I'm going to have to look into this more, guys. Unfortunately, I'm a little uneducated here with the lockpicking. Of course, I play a lot more family than I do victim side, but I haven't seen a whole lot of issues with lockpicking, the minigame for lockpicking. If you guys know anything about that, please feel free to let me know. I'll definitely have to do some more research about that. But either way, minigame issues, and it does say lockpicking, etc., so apparently there's some issues in other departments of minigame as well. So we'll see how that turns out, but this is going to be needs more info, so this is going to be something we'll see in patches, down the road. And last but not least on needs more info is locked out of interactions. Now, this is also a good one, guys. Sometimes the game will bug, it will glitch, there will be some issues to where you simply just can't interact with anything for the rest of the game. And you pretty much have to DC, or the game's going to DC itself, and you're just going to get kicked from the lobby altogether. This is an issue that definitely needs looked into. I know there's some instances where victims, if they disconnect at the perfect time while you're killing them, they can pretty much crash the entire game for everybody in it. That's a major issue as well. And also, when they do DC, that can kind of throw you into these locked out of interactions that they're talking about, to where you just simply can't do anything for the rest of the game. I've had instances where I couldn't even sprint or swing my weapon, and, everybody was just kind of running into walls, and the game just kind of crashed out. So, definitely glad they're looking into that. That's a huge quality of life thing there, because it does happen I don't want to say frequently, but it does happen sometimes, and even sometimes is too much. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the 4th edition of the Muerto Times, man. A lot of good stuff being addressed here, guys. Feel free to let me know what you guys think in the comments of this edition of the Muerto Times. And of course, as soon as we get any information on when this patch is going to be available, as you guys know, they've been releasing the patch notes well before the actual patch comes out, which I absolutely freaking love. So we can expect, you know, what we're going to see in the upcoming patch. But as soon as that's dropped, guys, of course, we'll be sharing that as well. And if any more, intel comes in regarding these Muerto Times, we'll be sharing that too. But if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for all things the Texas Chain Saw Massacre game content. My name's Sergeant Moose. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next video.